This is 3 News Daily.
Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Thursday, January 19th. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top stories from WKYC.com. And we start today with new developments in the Rust movie set shooting. Actor Alec Baldwin will be charged with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a cinematographer who was killed on the movie set in 2021. Weapons specialist Hannah Gutierrez-Reed will also be charged as she supervised the weapons on set. 42-year-old Helena Hutchins died shortly after being wounded during rehearsals for the Western Rust. Hutchins was struck and killed by a live round fired from a prop gun while Alec Baldwin was rehearsing for a scene. Involuntary manslaughter is a 4th-degree felony in New Mexico, and Baldwin could face up to 18 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. We have the full story on these new charges up on WKYC.com. And in Akron this afternoon, a woman is now facing charges in connection to a car crash during a funeral procession that killed 2 children in October. 30-year-old Tanika Allen is charged with aggravated vehicular homicide, endangering children, and aggravated vehicular assault. That crash killed her own son, 12-year-old Tamar Allen, and her nephew, 6-year-old Trevon Walker Jr. Police say Allen is responsible for the crash for driving recklessly. She turned herself in yesterday. To Wickliffe now, where police officers arrested a shoplifter and later found that person to be wanted for murder. Wickliffe police officers responded to a local Dollar General for a shoplifting report and spotted 19-year-old Clint Halfley and an unidentified woman in the parking lot. When approached, Halfley ran. Police eventually caught and arrested him, and when they checked his record, they found an active arrest warrant for a Cleveland murder. Wickliffe police officers have since turned him over to Cleveland police. Now, thanks to our 3 News Investigates team, we're getting a deeper look into Cedar Point's police records after a 3 News investigation discovered dozens of sexual assaults inside the park's dorms. The park has handed over the documents after a 6-month legal battle in the Ohio Supreme Court. 3 News investigator Marissa Sines reports why the park can't hide behind private company laws and the number of claims that have been silenced.
The truth behind what really happens beyond the Cedar Point Causeway now lies in more than just the park's hands. New records 3 News Investigates fought for months, finally in our possession. 12 new cases uncovered after the park released all sexual assault police reports in the last 5 years. Reports the park has refused to hand over for nearly 10 months. The number of sexual assault cases at Cedar Point now stands at 41.
Well, my sweater shawl thing was on the floor with my shirt, and I didn't know where my pants were.
I woke up to him inside of me, and I pushed him away. I didn't know what to do.
He just walked in, like, unannounced, and, like, he grabbed me and pushed me against the bed.
We first broke the news of the cases in May of last year. The number of reported assaults climbing in the midst of our investigation. Our team and our sister station in Columbus and Toledo speaking to nearly a dozen victims and former employees, all of them telling us help was muddled by a culture of silence and shame.
He just started taking my clothes off of me and kissing me, and I told him to stop, and then he just did what he pleased.
Do you think things will change in terms of cases like this, violence or policing overall?
I would like to have faith in the fact that it would, but do I believe it would? I don't know.
Throughout the course of our investigation, Cedar Point and its parent company, Cedar Fair, have remained silent, denying all of our interview requests and hiding behind the rights of being a private company. That is, despite its police force being certified by the Ohio Attorney General's office, meaning its records are public. We filed a lawsuit demanding so in September, and in a small victory, have now discovered the 12 new cases.
Thank you for that, Marissa. Now, as a result of our investigation, the park and Sandusky police announced in June the city would take over all law enforcement responsibilities, including those park dorms. Now in East Cleveland, 2 former police officers have pleaded guilty to charges of bribery. 53-year-old Vaughn Harris and 29-year-old DeMarco Johnson both admitted to falsifying police records on several occasions back in 2018. They'll be sentenced next month. Since August, 9 former or current East Cleveland officers have faced criminal charges. And right now, Cleveland City Council is hosting a safety roundtable with the U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals Director Ronald Davis is discussing how the Marshals arrest violent and federal offenders, as well as how they handle violent crime. We're live streaming the full conversation on our website, WKYC.com, and we'll have more details from that conversation for you this evening. Now, the U.S. has officially reached its borrowing limit. The Treasury Department is now taking drastic measures to make sure the nation can continue borrowing under the federal debt limit and pay its bills, but those measures could run out again in June. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said certain financial tools the government uses to meet the country's obligations can continue until at least June 5th, but after they expire, Congress will need to act to prevent default. The warning comes as the new Republican House majority, led by Speaker Kevin McCarthy, demands spending cuts to lift the debt ceiling. But the White House has made it clear that they are not budging. Back here at home, the boil advisory issued to Cleveland water customers in parts of Brunswick, Strongsville, and North Royalton has been lifted. It came from a water main break on Tuesday evening, and today the city gave an all okay to the customers affected. In other news, Amazon is closing its charity donation program, Amazon Smile, next month. Through the program, Amazon used to donate a percentage of customers' purchases to a charity of their choice, and the company says it's donated roughly $500 million since Amazon Smile launched in 2013. Even so, the company says Amazon Smile hasn't created the impact it had originally hoped. Our Carmen Blackwell will have more information for us on this story this evening. The city of Cleveland is making moves to make it safer for people who ride bikes downtown. The Superior Midway project will create 2.5 miles of protected, separated bikeway in the median of Superior Avenue from Public Square to East 55th Street. I know a lot of people who will be very happy about that. Construction is expected to start in summer of 2025 and be completed by October 2026. It's estimated this will cost about $25 million, and $19.6 million of that will come from federal funds. The Superior Midway is the city's pilot Midway project, and the next one on the radar is the Lorraine Midway. That moves now into the design phase, and it's expected to be finished after the Superior Midway. And before we go, it has been a great week for Cleveland recreation. Just yesterday, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Science Center were nominated for USA Today's Best Museums contest. And now the Cuyahoga River is leading a pack of 20 nominees for Best Spot for Urban Kayaking. It is part of the newest 10 Best poll from USA Today. As of 1 o'clock today, it's in the #1 spot. We've got a link on WKYC.com for you to cast your vote. Now, I haven't done any kayaking on the Cuyahoga, but I've done some stand-up paddleboarding, and I can say it is a good time. So get out there, vote, and let's show some Northeast Ohio pride, and let's let the country know how great it is around here. Thanks for being here with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. Whether you're watching on WKYC Plus, our YouTube page, our Instagram page, or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we appreciate you, and we'll be back with more of your top stories tomorrow. Have a great day.